Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a concept that might really shift how you think about money. It's called stealth wealth.
Yeah, it's this idea that, real financial strength isn't flashy. It's actually invisible.
Right. Because when you picture a millionaire, what comes to mind? Probably like fancy cars, big houses, expensive vacations.
Exactly. Tailored suits, the whole deal.
Yeah.
But, well, the research we looked at, it paints a totally different picture. The people really building serious wealth, like 7, 8 figures, they often look, well, ordinary.
Like the guy driving the 10-year-old Honda.
Precisely. Or wearing, just regular clothes. They're focused on building the actual net worth, not projecting an image of it.
And there's this great story from the sources that just nails this.
Oh, it's perfect. It was this fancy networking dinner packed with genuinely wealthy people, entrepreneurs who just closed huge deals.
Okay, so you'd expect them to be popping expensive champagne, right?
You would, but nope. They were huddled together talking about the happy hour deals. And then, get this, they split the dinner bill right down to the last cent.
Wow. So even with millions, they're still focused on value, not showing off.
That's the core of it. Value optimization over flashy spending. And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We've pulled out 10, let's call them invisible strategies or hacks from the sources.
Actionable things you can use to build wealth without needing a finance degree, designed for you, the listener, who wants the real deal without the jargon.
Exactly. So let's start with maybe the toughest part, mastering your own mind.
Yeah, the psychology of it. This really underpins the whole stealth wealth idea.
It does. We're combining what the sources call invisible wealth mode and lifestyle lockdown. Think of it as hack 1 and 5 rolled together, the principle. It sounds simple. When you make more money, you don't spend more money.
Simple to say, incredibly hard to do though, right? Because everything around us, society, advertising, it tells you a raise means an upgrade.
Totally. You get that $10,000 raise, which, let's be real, is maybe $7,000 after taxes, and the immediate thought is, okay, what new payment can I afford? A nicer car. Fancier apartment.
That's the default script.
But the stealth wealth builder, they break that script, that extra money. It basically becomes invisible. They set up an automatic transfer for that, say, $580 a month, straight into investments before they can even think about spending it.
So it never even feels like their money to spend.
Exactly. And the sources had this really good case study. Someone got a big promotion, made a pact with themselves. For 3 years, no lifestyle change. Same apartment, same car, same budget.
3 years. That takes serious discipline.
It really does, but the payoff, huge. That invisible money, automatically invested, grew to over $40,000 in an index fund.
Wow.
And here's the kicker. They didn't then buy a sports car. They used that $40 as a down payment on a duplex.
Ah, so they turned savings into an income-producing asset.
Instantly became a landlord, a real estate investor. That delayed gratification completely changed their financial future.
That discipline needs to apply to surprise money too, doesn't it? Which brings us to hack 4, windfall discipline.
Yes. Unexpected cash. Tax refunds are the big one, maybe a work bonus, inheritance, even finding $20 in an old coat.
Most people see that as fun money, right? Free pass to spend.
Right. But the stealth wealth mindset sees it as rocket fuel for your investments.
Okay, let's pause here because the numbers in the source material were, frankly, a bit shocking. They compared using a $1,200 tax refund on a weekend trip versus investing it. What's the real cost?
It's kind of mind-blowing. If you invest that $1,200 and let it compound for, say, 20 years at an average market return, that weekend trip effectively cost you around $12,000 in future wealth.
$12,000 for one weekend.
Yeah. When you frame it like that, suddenly blowing a windfall feels different, heavy.
So how do you manage that urge? The sources suggested a rule, right?
The 70-30 split rule, because total deprivation isn't sustainable, You'll just snap eventually.
Makes sense.
So take 70% of any windfall, that $1,200 refund. $840 goes straight to investments, no questions asked. But the other 30%, the $360, that's yours to enjoy, guilt-free.
Okay, a bit of balance. Keeps you sane.
Exactly. It makes the discipline stick long-term.
All right, so we've tackled the behavioral stuff, which is crucial, but let's face it, relies on willpower. And willpower fades.
Oh, definitely. Bad days happen. That's why the next step is building systems, taking willpower out of the equation. Hack 2, the automation army.
Love that name. What does it mean in practice?
It means setting up automatic transfers. On payday, before you see the money in your main account, a set percentage, maybe 15%, whatever works for you, gets automatically moved to your savings and investment accounts.
You pay yourself first automatically.
You pay your future self first. It becomes non-negotiable. It just happens.
And where that money lands automatically is also key. We need to talk about high-yield savings accounts, HYSAs.
Oh, absolutely critical. If you're still parking your emergency fund or short-term savings in a big traditional bank account earning like 0.01% interest,
Yeah.
you're leaving money on the table.
It's almost insulting the interest they pay.
It really is. HYSAs, often from online banks, are offering much better rates. Right now, you can easily find 3%, 4%, maybe even 5%.
Let's break down the difference that makes. Say you save $500 a month for a year. That's $6,000.
In a regular savings account, you might earn, what, 60 cents in interest? A cup of coffee? Maybe not even.
Yeah.
But in a HYSA at, say, 4%, that same $6,000 earns you around $240 in interest over the year.
Just for choosing a different account. Free money.
Essentially, yeah. Your money is working harder for you while it just sits there. It's the smart place for your emergency fund or saving for a big purchase.
Okay, so automation sends money to the right places. What about using government incentives? Hack 7, legal tax avoidance.
Right. The government wants you to save for retirement. They offer serious tax breaks to encourage it, mainly through things like your 401k at work.
People know they should use their 401k, but maybe don't grasp the immediate wins. Let's talk benefit 1, lowering your current taxes.
It's pretty straightforward. If you earn, say, $60,000 a year and contribute $6,000 to a traditional 401k, the IRS basically pretends you only earned $54,000 that year for income tax purposes.
So you pay less tax right now.
Exactly. If you're in, let's say, a 20% marginal tax bracket, that $6,000 contribution saves you $1,200 in taxes this year. That's like an instant 20% return on your money just for using the account.
That's huge. And then there's benefit 2, the employer match, often called free money.
And it basically is. If your company offers to match your contributions up to, say, 4% of your salary and you only put in 2%, you are literally turning down a part of your compensation package.
Leaving money on the table. Thousands of dollars over time, plus all the growth it would have generated.
It's arguably the best guaranteed return you'll ever get on your money. Maxing out the match should be priority number 1.
Okay, so we have automation, smart saving spots, tax advantages. But before we get into the really aggressive growth stuff, we need protection. Hack 9, the financial force field.
The emergency fund. I know, it sounds boring, but it's the bedrock.
How much are we talking?
3 to 6 months worth of essential living expenses, parked safely in that HYSA we talked about, not invested, not risked, just sitting there.
Why is this non-negotiable for someone building wealth?
Because life happens. Cars break down, roofs leak, laptops die, people lose jobs. Without that cash cushion, when an emergency hits, what do?
You probably have to sell investments.
Exactly. Maybe at the worst possible time, like during a market crash when prices are low, or you rack up high-interest credit card debt paying 25% or more.
So the emergency fund protects your long-term investment strategy from short-term crises.
It keeps your plan intact.
Yeah.
The sources had a personal story about this during the 2020 market dip. Someone's car AC died. Big expense. Because they had their emergency fund, they just paid for the repair. No stress. Didn't have to touch their investments, which were way down at the time.
And not only did they avoid selling low,
They actually felt secure enough to buy more stocks while they were cheap because the emergency was handled. The protection gave them clarity and opportunity.
that's a powerful link. Protection enables smarter decisions. Okay, let's shift gears to growth. We've got the defense set up. How do we build the wealth pile but keep it invisible? Hack 3, boring wealth building.
This is key. The secret weapon of the stealthy rich. Their investments are often, well, boring. They're not trying to find the next big crypto coin or pick the next Tesla stock.
No gambling on long shot.
Nope. It's speculation, not investing. They stick to broad, diversified index funds, like an S&P 500 index fund, which just tracks the 500 biggest U.S. companies.
But isn't that just average? Why not aim higher?
That's the beauty of it. By capturing the average return of the entire market, you harness the power of the whole economy growing over time. It's not sexy, you won't brag about it at parties.
Definitely keeps it invisible.
But the long-term results are incredible. The S&P 500 has historically averaged around 10% per year over decades.
Put that 10% into perspective for us. What does that look like in real terms?
Okay, let's say you start at age 25. You invest just $100 a week. That's like skipping a couple of fancy coffees or meals out.
Okay, manageable for many people.
You put that $100 a week into an S&P 500 index fund consistently by the time you reach 65. Assuming that historical average return, you're looking at over $1.4 million.
Wow, just from being consistent and boring.
It's the ultimate set it and forget it strategy. Simple, effective, and keeps you out of trouble trying to time the market.
That consistent, quiet compounding leads nicely into hack 6, invisible income streams.
Yeah, this isn't about launching some high-profile startup or becoming a TikTok star. It's about finding ways to make extra money quietly, often leveraging skills you already have.
Things that are scalable, that don't require huge upfront risk or visibility.
Exactly. Think about things others need done but maybe don't enjoy doing themselves, like editing videos for people, writing email newsletters, maybe virtual assistant work like organizing schedules or files.
Skills that are in demand.
High demand, and you can often do them flexibly around your main job. The sources mention a friend editing podcast transcripts.
Right, just a couple hours on a Sunday.
Yeah, makes an extra $500 a month, quietly. But here's the stealth wealth move. That $500 doesn't just get spent. It goes straight into a Roth IRA.
Ah, connecting back to the tax advantages. Why Roth specifically for this side income?
Because Roth IRA contributions are made with money you've already paid tax on.
Yeah.
But then, all the growth, all the earnings, and all the withdrawals in retirement are completely tax-free.
So that $500 a month side hustle.
Invested consistently in a Roth IRA over, say, 20 years, could easily grow to $200,000 or more. And every single cent of that growth is yours, tax-free. That's powerful, invisible income building.
The power of compounding again.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect setup for hack 8. Time beats timing.
This might be the single most important principle. We obsess over getting the highest returns, but the biggest advantage you have, it's time. Starting early.
The earlier you start, the less you actually need to save each month.
Massively less. We have to talk about the twin example from the sources. It's like the mic drop moment for understanding compounding.
Okay, lay it on us.
You have two twins. Twin A starts investing $200 a month at age 22, does this consistently for 10 years, then stops completely at age 32.
So 10 years of investing, total contribution. 200 month, 12 month, 10 years equals $24,000.
Exactly. Now, Twin B waits. Doesn't start investing until age 32, when Twin A stopped. But Twin B is diligent. They invest $200 a month from age 32 all the way to age 62.
Okay, so Twin B invests for 30 years straight, total contribution. 200 a month, 12 months, 30 years equals $72,000. 3 times more money invested than Twin A.
3 times more principal invested over a much longer period. Now fast forward to age 62, assuming an average 8% annual return for both, who has more money?
Logically, it has to be Twin B, right? Invested way more for longer overall.
You'd think so. But Twin B, who put in $72,000 over 30 years, ends up with about $566,000.
Okay, respectable nest egg. What about Twin A?
Twin A, who only put in $24,000 total and stopped investing 30 years earlier, they end up with $565,000.
Okay, what? They end up with basically the same amount despite investing $48,000 less.
Mind-bending, isn't it? That first decade gave Twin A's money an extra 10 years to compound and grow. That early start was more powerful than 3 decades of later contributions.
That just completely changes the game. It's not just how much you save, it's how early you start.
Time is the magic ingredient. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Don't wait.
Seriously powerful stuff. Okay, that brings us to the final hack, hack 10. This one's less about numbers, more about environment, upgrading your circle.
Yeah, the people you surround yourself with have a massive, often unseen impact on your financial habits. Jim Rohn's old saying holds true. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
So if your friends are always talking about the latest luxury car release, the expensive holidays, the designer clothes,
It creates pressure, even subconscious pressure. You feel like you need to keep up, spend more, maybe take on debt just to fit in. It drains your resources and focus.
but the flip side,
If your circle is talking about investment strategies, sharing tips on saving money, discussing side hustles, celebrating paying off debt, that becomes your normal.
you naturally start thinking and acting like them.
Exactly. You absorb those habits. You learn from them. It's about consciously choosing influences that align with your goal of building real wealth, not just showing it off.
Find your fellow stealth wealth builders, or people who are where you want to be financially.
It makes the whole journey easier and more reinforcing.
Okay, so we've covered 10 hacks. Lifestyle discipline, windfalls, automation, tax avoidance, emergency funds, boring investing, side income starting early. and your social circle. Let's tie it all together. What's the real end game here?
It's not just hitting a certain number in your bank account. It's achieving financial relaxation. Mm. It's that quiet confidence you get.
Peace of mind.
Yeah. When you have these systems in place, when you have that emergency fund, when your investments are growing quietly, you can weather storms. You stay calm when others are panicking about a market dip or an unexpected bill. You gain freedom, real freedom.
That ability to stay calm and make rational decisions, even under pressure, feels like the ultimate reward. So the final challenge for you listening, don't get overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Don't try to do all 10 things tomorrow.
Just pick one. Maybe this week you finally open that high-yield savings account, or you log into your work's 401k portal and bump up your contribution to get the full match, or set up one automatic transfer.
Just one small invisible action. Because those tiny steps, repeated consistently, that's what builds life-changing wealth over time.
It really is the compound effect in action.
And maybe the final thought to leave you with is this: the most underrated part of stuff wealth. Nobody needs to know. You're just quietly building security, building freedom.
Until one day, people around you might wonder why you seem so financially untroubled while they're still stressed.
Exactly. And that feeling, that quiet confidence, that's entirely for you. That's the real prize.